Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to 14th Live. Today is June 11th, 2022. It's Rainwater Tiger Year, and now it is Being Fire Horse Month. And today is Ewood Way Earth Day, the goat. And now is the Jiawood Shun Metal Monkey time. It's 5 p.m. here. Sorry for the last 2 weeks. I was busy with other stuffs. From this week, I think I will do 2 weeks, 8 or 9 p.m. at night, and then 2 weeks for the European countries people. So I will do the live at around 3 to 4 p.m. Yeah. So 1 week, 8 to 9 p.m. and 1 week, 3 to 4 p.m. like that. Hello, Alex. Okay, welcome to the Fire Horse Year. No, Horse Month. How is my voice? I changed my microphone and I don't know how it sounds like. It is very similar to last month, the Fire Snake, but quite different because last month was punishment has been involved. So it is similar, wood to fire. Wood is generating fire. That is the process of the last month. But there was a punishment, which means I keep talking about that. The metal energy is somewhat involved here. So there was kind of it could disturb the wood to fire process if the wood fire is Yongshin to you guys. Some kind of metal energies interrupting that and kind of make confused mind to people. Like I want to generate fire from the wood, but I have to focus on metal. So it is 3 different mind happened. But in June, now it is purely fire energy. So Tiger is purely generating the fire. Let's look at the hidden stem a little bit. Oh, sounds fine. Okay, thank you. So this is the difference between snake and horse. In snake, there is metal in it. In horse, there's 2 fire and 1 earth. So there's no in element, metal and water. And there was in element in snake. And that was quite necessary process because Sapphire Snake is the beginning of the big cycle of metal. It is the beginning earthly branch that conceives that metal energy for the fall. If the nature doesn't really generate the metal in snake time, only yang energy can be dominant. And then if we think about the plants and trees, seed and like fruit cannot be made. So in snake time, before really getting hot, the nature has to create some kind of coldness in energy and create the seed and try to protect that. So that's the nature's perspective. But for human, if metal is dominant energy, that people might get some trouble in May month. And now in June, it's purely generating process from wood to fire. So now really yang energy is starting. It's a yang energy, yang fire dominant month. Terjen, can you show us the similar events that happened in 1962 Rainwater Tiger and events that are happening in 2022 Rainwater Tiger? I will do that. I will prepare for next week, Alex. Okay? Yeah, I should do that in the beginning of this year, right? I have to look at the whole history of the world. Yeah, but simply saying in 1962, 60 years ago, there was quite a new trial happened. Like people try something new in politically or economically. Like in South Korea, there was the military coup in 1960 and 1961. Yeah, every time I took a rest for a couple of weeks, my PowerPoint skill has been really slowed down. Yeah, this is the example of South Korea. And in these 2 years, in 1960 and 1961, there was a military coup. It was a very harsh time, start a dictatorship. And this new government begin from the 1962. So they have to set up everything new as they like, as they try to rule the people. So they did some kind of like currency. They try to renew the currency. So currency reformation. So they try to make a new currency, new bill, new coins. And the thing is, they try to push really hard and fast. So it eventually not working. So when we look at the the history in the world, there should be similar pattern. Like in last 3 years, 59, 60, and 61, there should be some kind of harsh moment. It is the metal year, and it is the really deep winter time. So some events that has been really really condensed and not really communicate each other. One side is really dominant. So that kind of things can happen in everywhere. And reminding that 3 years history, people try to make something new. That's what I mean by this water is remaining in the heavenly stem. It is the experience from last 3 years. Based on those 3 years history and the memory, people try to begin the new thing. People try to make a new territory. People try to establish a new political something. It happened in India and China as well in 1962. It's about like Tibet territory. It was kind of not very clear. It was in China, but it was kind of not China. And then the Indian military tried to get the Tibet territory, and they have the war starting from that. So it is kind of set up the new territory, set up the new power dynamic. And then Putin is doing that, try to do something new, right? Similar thing as the Russia does this year. But what I explained in this year, like it came from the water element and tried to generate the new spring energy as tiger and rabbit. And many people think, oh, now new beginning is coming. So I want to do something new, kind of really in hasty mind, like reckless mind. They want to push their things very hard, but those are usually not working very well because it is still in the water realm. Our thinking could be we can already get the fire, but it's still water, wood realm, so it should be a little bit careful. It should be a little bit more solid based thinking, plan very well. Everything, any country or government tried to push really hard in 1962, they kind of not succeed. Yeah, watch the video, a big picture of 2020. Yeah. So that's the theme of everyone. You might remember this one. This goes similar as the yearly energy. Like this year's monthly energy follows same pillar. So that is the order of the yearly flow from this year. But at the same time, this year's month, February to December and January, that pillar follow exactly same yearly pillar from this year's. This is the small kind of microsystem and macrosystem kind of. There's a fractal image. But if we carefully look at this year's monthly energy, now we can kind of expect to see what will be happened in next 6 years or 9 years. But anyway, this is the beginning energy. The 2022 is beginning energy. It's the beginning of the wood, and at the same time, beginning of the triple combination of fire, big cycle of fire. So it's very small. It's the sprout. It's the sprout energy that is coming out. So that was the February energy as well. So when we look at this year's monthly flow, things are not quite really done on February and March. In April, there was some kind of revealed things that has been really clarified. Its character, should I go this way or that way? Or should I do this or that? That is happening in April, which means if we think about this in yearly energy, what we want to start in this year will be really clearly shown its character in 2024, like 2 years later. So this year and next year will be, it's kind of starting moment. Starting moment is a motivating moment. We try to do something really new, try to make our family to the different direction, our country to the different direction. New political government will start their new policy, something like that. And then that is kind of clearly shown their character in 2024, in the yearly perspective. And February to April, those three wood energy, that is the meaning of wood. Wood is beginning, starting. And then fire time, in fire time, what we have begun in last 3 months or 3 years, 3 months, will now start expanding. But it should be expanding in starting from May. But suddenly this metal things is kind of happening here in these two actually. So it's not quite expanded very well in May. But now in June, the wood to fire energies now start really larger and increasing. Because the Wu fire horse is the middle of the big cycle of fire. At the same time, in the middle of small cycle of fire, it's like double fire energy, and it's pure fire. It's now starting. So in this year and in this month, before that, this is the image of the 5 elemental picture. So basically this month in June is preferable if fire is Yongshin, but very clearly if fire is dominant energy, which means unfavorable. For those people, this month could be not really fun. And at the same time, this is the part of triple combination of fire. So these 3 will make really huge fire if you have dog. Even though you don't have dog, the tiger and horse already creates some kind of big fire energy. But with dog, that's really huge. So in this case, if fire is Yongshin, that can help more positive energy. If that is dominant energy, you should make some plan to deal with that. I follow you for a long time. Yeah, I remember the face. It's the first time I can join. I live in Virgin. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have a live session in the afternoon, maybe 2 to 3 hours before, like 3 to 4 p.m. in the US. So maybe you guys can join in Europe. This dog energy can be in the chart, or this could be your Dian, and this could be any daily pillars energy. I mean daily energy. What I put in the weekly flow video, any dog time comes in this month, those will create the triple combination of fire temporarily for one day. Does having a favorable year or moment from the past be another way of determining preferable energy? Like if you remind certain years were really favorite in your life, does that mean those years' energy is preferable energy like that? I'm really careful to say that is preferable or not, but similar mindset can be happened in similar year, in similar 5 element time, because people sometimes misunderstand what is really preferable meaning or what is not preferable meaning. Something like enjoy my life can be preferable, but it cannot be preferable sometimes. Like enjoy my life, spend all my money, that doesn't mean preferable energy. Yeah, enjoy my life and then kind of my wealth is increasing at the same time, that could be preferable. But similar mindset, similar things can happen in similar element. And the preferable and not preferable, good things and bad things, positive and negative things can always go together. Like it's not always 100% good, 100% bad. If you feel something very preferable and then feels like it's my favorite year, if you remind those years later, there should be some kind of not really preferable things happened. How come the Chinese element system is so similar in a way with Western astro like dog, tiger, and horse? Yet, and the fire strong cycle is the same as Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Are you an astrologer? I want to correct one thing. It's not only Chinese element. It's all around the Eastern countries, Japan, Korea, and China. So yeah, it developed in different areas, but people in the past, in ancient time, people try to look at the sky. People try to look at many different things. Yeah, many different things. Yeah, in all Asia, right? And try to apply those principles to the agriculture and to the politics, in everywhere in the world. So usually they try to look at the stars, right? They try to look at the stars, try to look at the sun and the moon, and then 12 division of the sky. So those things can kind of happening in the same time, I think. Yeah. And one day, maybe Eastern European country and then Chinese people or Korean people try to trade something and then trade their knowledge so they kind of learn each other some way. It's very also similar to the Egyptian astrology, I think. Yeah. What I guess is that is the energy of in this kind of study, in this Batsa study, that is the energy of this wood or fire and the dog. Because in rainwater tiger year is this year, the rainwater tiger energy is applied to every country in the world. So in every country, if you can observe that correctly, same things are happening in every world, in every country, in every person, same things are happening in this year. So the development of human being can be also similar, wood to fire to earth to metal and water. So in same time period, their interests were kind of similar. Look at the stars and then make some kind of study to share. That's my thinking. The main difference between the Western and Eastern is that the Western likes similar energy. Eastern makes more balance between element. Yeah, but try to make a balance is also the characteristic of my lineage. In some other lineages, if certain elements become really large, like that, like in some lineages, they said they have to follow the fire, like whatever your yongsheng is, whatever your preferable energy is. It's like dictatorship. It's some really powerful dictator rules your country or family. You have to follow that, like that. So that also makes sense, yeah. But in this modern time, our individual mind and thinking is kind of more important, and sometimes people's mind can win the dictatorship sometimes. Not in certain countries, but yeah. What do you think with time correction thing, in your opinion? What do you mean by time correction? Like you have to adjust your birth time to the Asian time, like that? Not using your country's time, using Chinese time, like something like that. One theory, my favorable energy is metal. In the other, it's wood. That's tricky. Metal and wood is kind of opposite energy. But the main difference between these two is this study doesn't really follow the stars, actually. Western astrology, exactly, like follow the stars movement. It's solar time correction. If the hour few minutes away from the changing animal sign. Oh, that's a long story. I will try to make it simple. A few minutes later. What does it mean when someone has the same day master? Same daily master means same character, same self. So if somebody is being fire, the being fire's character is kind of ruling your whole personality, about 50 to 60%. Like all the personality, mostly coming from the daily master's energy. It has really powerful character, self-character. So if same daily master, they are kind of sharing the similar personality and character. It's like the same brand. If we want to purchase the car, same daily master means kind of same brand of the car. It's very similar characteristic. I feel I need to learn from metal, but not live together with them. I live together with wood now. It looks better. Yeah, so that's what I mean by preferable energy. Favorable energy doesn't mean feeling you really comfortable. Like it doesn't mean. So we have to really differentiate those two very well. If I have to use my energy and then my money and then my effort to that energy, to that element, that is not favorable energy. Usually favorable energy is I take their energy. This is so materialistic thinking, but yeah, they have different path in life. Sure, like if you and your friend purchase the same car, you guys use it differently, right? You can use it near the ocean. Your friend can use that in the mountain, and the car's character should be different, and they can tune up the car. So it is the same structure, but the daily master is only one character out of 8. So that doesn't really determine whole your being. That's why you have to determine the 10 spirits. Same daily master, but what 10 spirits are dominant in the chart? you can have child spirit dominant, but your friend can have official spirit dominant. And that's quite opposite life. It's a really different life. Yeah. When your daily master is strong enough, in my case, female wood, then I can stand metal and use metal to learn. When I was younger, my wood wasn't strong enough, and metal hurt me a lot. Yeah. So your metal might not be a favorable energy, especially if you don't have water in your chart. There's no buffer between the metal and the wood, so the water is really important in this case. And I will try to explain the time difference as much as I can. It could not be really smooth. Just simple example. Let's say this line is GMT plus 1, and this line is GMT plus 2. And those the gap is usually 15 degrees. 15 degrees is latitude or longitude. I always confused this is latitude or longitude. But it is 15 degrees. And not every country, but most country follows the GMT line as a time zone. This is the meaning of time zone, right? So maybe this amount of area could follow the GMT1, and maybe this amount follows GMT2. 15 degrees is 1 hour. I would say 60 minutes. So one degree is 4 minutes. So for example, if your country is like that, say this is your country. Let's say here to the GMT2 line is about 5 degrees difference. If you calculate the latitude and longitude, I want to see what is the right term. So this might be longitude. So this country might follow the GMT2 timeline, but you have like 5 degrees difference. Let's say you are born in like 3 o'clock. And 3 o'clock is kind of tricky. 3 o'clock can be in the monkey time or in the goat time, because the 3 to 5 is monkey, 1 to 3 is goat. But this follows usually your country's time, which means it follows the GMT or any kind of the setup zone. So you have to figure out what time zone your country is using. So 5 degrees from this calculation, 5 degrees could be about 20 minutes difference. Am I doing right? Yeah. So you have to minus 20 minutes from 3 o'clock, right? Yeah. Your actual time might be 2:30. So it is the goat. But the similar case, if you are born in here, same example, you're born in now in this country, and same, your birth time is 3 o'clock, but your actual time might be 3:30, which means monkey time. that is kind of hard to really explain. Yeah. So first you have to figure out what time zone you are using and how much degrees your country is far from your time zone line, and then calculate this. And usually many apps or website already calculate those things for you. It's important if your time is like in the middle between two times. Goat and monkey is really different. So one is summer, one is fire energy, and one is metal energy. So it's really yeah. Mostly I don't really calculate. If somebody is born at 2 o'clock, I don't really calculate, because 1 to 3 is kind of always goat. So 2 might be goat, but like 3 or 5 or 7, like that. Like the person is born exactly on the line, the border between those two animals, I calculate. My girlfriend has almost no water. Daymaster, Tiger, Wood, 1988 with all the rest, Earth. She is what you would call broken wood, okay? She almost behaved as an Earth Daymaster, but it's not good. Yeah, very beginning of my videos, like 3 categories of the Batsa chart. That video is really important because that also answers the Alex's question. I will draw again. We need to figure out all those 3. One is daily master, and what is dominant energy, and especially the daily master explains your character, main character, personality. Oh, I'm making it hard. I don't need a arrow. The dominant energy decide the tendency of your mind and behavior, and that's what we call 10 spirits tendency. or 10 spirits partiality, or 5 element partiality. So for example, if the daily master is wood, as you said, and if dominant energy is earth, that person has wood as a main character. The self is wood, but the tendency of her or his acting and behavior is earth. In an earth way, she act, she behave. So what you can see is mostly earth, because that's what she behave and think. And we need to compare those two and then look at both at the same time to really determine oneself. So that's the Alex, your question. Like if that daily master is like being fire, same daily master, but some people have some person have earth as a dominant energy, but some has water as a dominant energy. And those two people's behavior, two people's talking way, two people's mindset is totally different. So that's the importance why we have to learn the 10 spirits. So usually daily master and the dominant energy, these two determine the self. We have to look at these two aspects. And Yongshin is what we have to seek for, what we have to follow, what we have to set up our mind to behave. It's opposite, usually opposite from the dominant energy, and then mostly it helps the daily master. So Yongshin can decrease the dominant energy and then make the main character, main personalities, quality in a healthy way. That is the Yongshin's role. I think that the element is that is most present in someone's, can determine someone's personality. For example, being fire daily master, but they have a lot of, yeah, that's what I just explained. Yeah. Yes, actually, she should control earth, but it's the other way around. Yeah. From 2015, she came into 10-year cycle female wood rabbit. And in 2025, her own daily master is wood. So it's changing now. Yeah, it's changing. This year is wood energy, so she might be supported by that. Johnny Depp is water ship. Day master, really. And rabbit, water ear. Amber is monkey, fire daily master, and fire tiger ear. Can you explain more about that? You're really looking into people's chart. Fire tiger ear. They get married in 2015. Then 2016 came and she went into her own element, monkey fire. She became too strong fire. She acted him to back away from fights. He never wanted to fight openly. Typical female water and male fire hates that. Should we make decisions based on yearly or monthly energy? For example, should a wood daily master try to pursue a job in August or September? That's like if I have to say, oh, I totally erase all my picture. Oh, I will keep that. I will keep this. I need previous. Oh, it's gone. Okay, never mind. So Alex, when we said there's a daily master and there's dominant energy and there's Yongshin, if I have to say what element we have to follow, we have to pursue, is Yongshin, what we have to pursue. But Yongshin energy is not always a job's energy. Yongshin energy could be study for some people. So we have to really figure out those. But usually follow the Yongshin's energy is less make a mistake. Like as you said, August or September is metal year, metal month. So if Yongshin is metal, try something in that Yongshin month is really helpful. Even though it is in the wood year, August and September will be metal month, Yongshin month to you. So it could be making something better, result. Yeah, but there will be conflict between those wood and metal energy. The tiger energy and monkey energy has a clash, so you have to change your direction to another. So follow the Yongshin. That is the key, and that is the principle number one to really decide something. It doesn't decide everything, but for now, follow the Yongshin is the most key and the easiest thing to apply. If your Yongshin is metal, what I said what I said, in these 2 months, April and May, especially May, there is like metal energy is kind of activated during this month. So some kind of Yongshin energy come to you, and then you might have some ideas or offer or some kind of chance that you can follow during this month. And then starting from here, starting from that May energy, the big cycle of metal is now happening. So you can follow those two energy, August and September, as a metal, but process is already begun in last month. The metal is starting from last month, and then in big picture, in big cycle of metal, it is kind of happening. It is the ripening process. If we look at the fruit doesn't really come out in August and September suddenly. It has to be prepared in this time, in May, April and May time, and then it's grow and grow, ripen here. So you can kind of think about those ripening process of the metal. So it is already beginning, and then you might have the best choice, best chance in these three months. I'm kind of lack of breath right now, shortness of breath. I use this to look up people and see if they daily master is strong or not. So the strength is really important to see the Yongshin. It also talks about bridges, creative bridge, mental bridge, physical bridge. If your Yongshin is metal, can we learn from metal balanced person or balanced metal day master? That's a really good way to learn. Look for resemble chart with sufficient metal as Yongshin. That's also a good way. To look at the metal balanced person might be a really good idea, I think. But anyway, we can learn from anyone. Anybody has good things and bad things. But pursuing that balanced metal quality is really important. And you have to differentiate your metal is your child spirit or your official spirit, like that. If that is your wood daily master, right? So it might be the official spirit if you are the wood. So you have to learn balanced official spirit to really make that metal as a balanced picture. So those are child spirit. Child spirit is what my daily master produces, what my daily master generates. So for wood daily master, fire. For fire daily master is earth. For earth is metal. For metal is water. For water is wood. So this is central daily master's energy. And then child spirit energy is just next to my daily master's element. So if it's too big, if it's too large, the too much child spirit picture is like that. The next to my daily master's element are really big, really large, really strong. And this is too less child spirit, too less output. So child spirit is, as an output, is generally output for everything that is coming from me. So somebody has lack of output, which means I have my knowledge and I have my source, any kind of source, resource, but I cannot really use. That is too less child spirit, can't use, can't create. But if that's too much use, right? Create too much. So basically creativity is the child spirit aspect, using my resource. And in a giving love, the perspective of giving love, too less output is I'm not using my things to give love to other people, so not easily giving. If there's too lack of child spirit, could be give too much giving is happening if there's too much child spirit. So like this, I will go over, I already finished it, the friendship spirit, and today I'm doing child spirit, and then I'll do wealth and official and the mother spirit as well. So just figure out what is your Yongshin. What is your this is also applied to dominant energy. If dominant energy, that could be too much element, but Yongshin element might be what you really need. So you don't have that much of that element. So if your case, the metal is, just for example, if metal is child spirit element, so it might be too less if that is your Yongshin. So what you want to pursue is find the balanced way of your metal 10 spirit in a metal way. So I'll go over all 5 elements as well. You will combine those two. So let's just organize what is the balanced picture of child spirit. I already put the creativity here. It's innovation. Produce something. It's all same all same meaning in a different way. It's a birth. It could be expansion. Expansion means you have like this business, and then you want to expand those business to other place. So if you have like child spirit dominant, you want to keep expanding your business, kind of. It could be kind, consideration, with selfless. It's the balanced meaning of the child spirit. I'll just go more. All kind of skills and techniques, and who have balanced child spirit, they can do the storytelling very well, which means good at speaking. That is coming out from you also. And any kind of ideas. Steve Jobs has too much child spirit, so too much idea. It could be opinions. Kind of similar to the skills and techniques, practical ability. Like when you learn something, how to apply that in the real situation. That is the child spirit. Also social skills, which is connected with the storytelling. You can connect with other people easily. You use your output to connect to other people. Could be reasoning power. It's kind of not quite there. I will just erase that. Yeah, so those are the balanced child spirit image. So when it's too much and too less, if you keep, it's like a dreamer. It's like dreaming, creativity. You keep creating in your mind and then just keep doing that. It could be really abstract, something like that. Fantasy, you keep daydream, which means you keep creating ideas. Like idea is also the balanced picture. You keep creating your ideas, but not really do the action. You just keep creating in your mind. That is that kind of too much child spirit picture. It's not really uncreative. Creative. That is a too less. It's really hard for someone who has a lack of child spirit to really create the idea. It's kind of hard. And innovation is really tricky because it is changing something, the changing energy. It is something new, like this year. This year is like innovative year, but it could be revolution sometimes, and it can go to rebellion if it's too much. It can go to dictatorship, but I will just erase the dictatorship. The Hitler is also too much child spirit person. Too less child spirit. It's not always true, but the opposite side of revolution is surrendering, maybe reactive. They are not enjoying something that is coming from their mind. Like they used to just follow other people's idea, maybe. Same, unproductive. Same thing, uncreative. And this is all the similar meaning. Also expansion as well. Too much produce, too much giving birth, too much expansion that can be produced that is not controllable, that is not manageable, that is never finished. So they keep creating idea. They're dreamer, but they cannot really control all of those things. Child spirit dominant people usually in a student time, usually they buy multiple books in the same time in same contents, but having multiple books, and then look at all the books one by one, and then never finish one book like that. And also expanding as well. They try to expand their business to other places and then cannot really manage all those business. So too much and too less can be all unhealthy situation. So we need to find the balanced picture. Expansion also cannot really expand their business, like immovable. They're not moving in one place. Also, it could be stagnation if there is no child spirit. And this is really interesting. Giving love can be good thing, but it's not always good. Too much kindness, too much selfless can be sometimes. This one is unconditional love. Is we learned that is a good thing actually, but actually it's not in this study. Unconditional love is too much child spirit, and sometimes that can be a nagging. I love this person, I love my child, so I want to say something good for them. So that could be a nagging. Too much control, too much intervention, like too much kind of they break the boundary and then they try to control them, and then that becomes kind of dictatorship. And too less child spirit as a selfish, yeah. It's conditional. They always like to set up the condition. I'm doing this and you do that to me, kind of, yeah. But at the same time, different, like opposite from the nagging is not very interested. Looks like not very interested. Like they don't really care about what their friend does, what their child does. They're not controlling them, kind of, yeah. Let them live freely. Let's look at the chat. But if in my case, the Yongshin is also your official spirit. Yeah, you don't need to think about other people's thing, just in your chart. So that's complicated. Your child's spirit can be their official spirit. Your mother's spirit can be their wealth spirit. So all the conflict mind happens in that difference. But if the child's spirit located inside the pillar, what should a daily master do during a child spirit being fire horseman's? I will cover that next few weeks about go by each daily master to how to. I should do that like before this horseman's. But if you have too much child spirit as the fire, if you have too much child spirit, try not to really keep creating something new. Child spirit is all about using my energy, and then it drains my energy. If you have a strong chart, it is good. If you have strong chart, drain that strong energy to the world or to other people, that is a really positive thing. But if you have a weak chart, too much draining, too much output is kind of make yourself more tired. So you have to manage that, like what to give or what to keep, or what to drain or not. So you have to manage that, all kind of this, produce something expanding, selfless mind, something like that. I will go by each daily master later. Also true, I was in 2 major fire cycle when I was young, with day master wood and enough fire, so excess output a bit. A lot of going out, party, crazy ideas. Yeah, so this kind of thing can happen for Wood Daily Master in this month. A lot of going out, party, crazy ideas. It's all about the child spirit. The meaning of child spirit in the character means eating God, like that. It's kind of eating, pleasuring myself, going out, party is draining my energy. Yeah. Oh yeah, your Yongshin is your official. Yeah, okay. Explanation describe a lot about me when I'm in excess. Yeah, that's everybody does. Yeah, we have all 5 elements come to us one by one. Like, yeah, so we all experience that. What's the difference between a hurting official and eating God? You don't need to really differentiate those two. To say eating God is more gentle action, gentle talking, and it's relatively smooth output, but hurting official is kind of quick action and then a little bit harsh way to talk or behavior. It can be like that. Why it is hurting official is because the child spirit is controlling the official spirit. If child spirit is too big, it is in controlling cycle. If child spirit is fire, official spirit is metal, so fire controls metal. Those two can anyway hurt the official. So that is just the mechanism of the 5 element cycle. So you don't need to differentiate really seriously. Anyway, any kind of child spirit can hurt the official, which means that is official spirit is our boundary, our territory. Official spirit is what I have to follow. It is the rule in my life, rule in my job, rule in my school, rule in my family. And child spirit is something that is coming from myself and then make a change. I think my opinion is more important. I think my action is more important. So that one can break the rule sometimes. That is the meaning of hurting official. I want to do something that is sometimes break the rule, right? So that is not really, you don't need to really think seriously. Yeah, that is naturally happening. Yeah, if you want to be innovative, you want to be different from the previous system. So that is hurting official. Previous official, you need to break that. And you can be an innovative person like a Steve Jobs. So both are similar, yeah. The character of eating God and hurting official is less important, but more important is balanced child spirit is more like a eating God, I would say. Because that's really proper amount of output, proper amount of going out and doing some party. We all need that. So balanced child spirit is closer to eating God character, more smooth, more makes sense. But too much child spirit is always hurting the official. Always break the rule. The too much thing in the child spirit character. Yeah, the hurting official is too much. I heard if in daily master, having in child spirit drain energy more rather than yang child spirit. Oh, it is different. If in daily master, the yang energy is draining more energy, but you don't need to really, yeah. You have to see more bigger picture. You have a lot of child spirit in your chart. even though that is yin or yang, that is more important than one character is yin or one character is yang. Yeah. But then too much child spirit with a weak daily master is actually unfavorable element. Yeah, that unfavorable element for the weak daily master chart can have some kind of hurting official character because it can drain you. Yeah, it can drain you, but you can create a lot of ideas. Like I always make an example of the Steve Jobs. He drains his energy a lot and get a cancer, right? So that is the like symbolical person of the child spirit dominant. Yeah. Let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. So too much child spirit people can use that skills very well. Use that skills here and there. They can avoid the laws. They can avoid the rules, which means hurting official situation. They can kind of control the official. So they can be very tricky. A lot of trick. They're crafty. Is that the right meaning? Cunning. Too less is easy, unskilled, tactless. And they're somewhat rigid. When they learn something, they only can use one thing. If too much child spirit, if they learn one thing, they can apply that in 100 different ways. So that's the too much. So it is, I said, unhealthy way, but they also have the strength. Too much is always the strength, but they can be unhealthy in some way. Yeah, too much storytelling goes here and there, it's rambling. Too much story, TMI, too much information, here and there, incoherent. And this thing and that thing is not really relative, but they keep talking this and that one. It's kind of social life, right? Oh, hello, Paula. From Portugal. Wow. Thank you for joining. So if too less storytelling, it's like, yeah, unspeakable. Unspeakable, illogical. Sometimes too much can be not logical. Too less is definitely not logical. But yeah, I would delete the illogical. Yeah, quiet. And sometimes if really strong daily master, and there is no output, so they have a lot of resources with mother spirit and they're really strong and there is no output, so they can go to the autism. And sometimes they have so many things inside of them and then they cannot really drain that energy. Follow other people's opinion. And if they have too much ideas, too much opinion, they can force their opinion to other people. And dictatorship coming from that, too much their idea, too much their opinion. They kind of force their idea to other people because child spirit is my will. It's pure my will. So if that is too much, they usually think their opinion is mostly right. The revolution or rebellion happens from that. If too much child spirit, yeah, they try to force their thinking and ideas. Too much ideas as well, similar to too much creativity, too much idea. So too many ideas, it's just rambling superficially. So they know generalized knowledge very well, but not in a really deep way. They like to reach out their mind to everything. So they look very smart, but when we try to ask a question in a deep way, they are kind of not thinking about that. Yeah, they just reaching their ideas they create many branches. It's another strength actually. The practical ability, already talked about that. They cannot really apply to the real world, which means they could be theoretical. Like it's official spirit dominant actually character, because if child spirit is large, usually official spirit is really less. If child spirit is really small, official spirit could be really dominant because it's in the controlling cycle. They cannot be strong at the same time. So they can be theoretical. Too much official spirit, too much rules, too much principle in their mind. Or what they cannot apply. They can, like, too less child spirit people cannot really apply some kind of knowledge in a proper way. So I don't want to say this, but useless behavior, useless skill can come out from that if that is too less. But I will just cross this out. This is not a positive. There's no positive, but yeah. And social skill is coming from that. So it's unsocial, especially the too less, unsocial, more private. Oh, there is lack of child spirit. And child spirit, if child spirit is too much, they want to go out more. They want to socialize more. Too much socializing. Too much friends, superficially, but not in a deep way. It could be 1 or 2 good friends, can be. And it's their style. I cannot say one is healthy, one is not healthy, but practical ability, apply knowledge, that is the kind of strength. very good. It is the really good strength for too much child spirit people. Can we say can't keeping secret? The too much child spirit? Yes, they say everything. But not everyone. Not everyone. They used to. They used to cannot really keep the secret. But not everyone. I know one really close person who can keep secret very well, even though that person is child spirit dominant. Yeah, so this direction between child spirit and official spirit is really the key point. The child spirit is hurting the official spirit or not. It is the key of the relationship between child spirit and other 10 spirit. Usually child spirit dominant people, they have large wealth spirit as well, because it's in the output realm. And usually the input realm is weak, either mother spirit or official spirit, which is in controlling cycle. So usually that happens. Official spirit is the work situation. So if too much child spirit, they tend to want to quit their job. That is the meaning of hurting official. But it's not a negative meaning. Sometimes we need that. We need to quit the job. There's certain time for everyone to have that support from the child spirit energy, and then that moment is we can quit the job. We can try to do other stuff. And also it's the moment of resign. But in a negative way, child spirit dominant, too much child spirit can show the hostility, rude. They think their opinion is more important, rebellious, combative, illegal. And cheating can happen from that because they can avoid the official spirit, which is rule. Child spirit can make people do the illegal things sometimes. So this time is also time for foundation, like creating their own business, establishment. Because usually if child spirit become too much, they don't want to listen to other people. They don't want to be controlled by other people, boss or teacher or mother. See, mother spirit is become weak if child spirit is too much. So they want to create their own thing. It's good time for do their business, starting own business. Too less child spirit is ruled by those input realm, as we said. Usually this is lack of acting, lack of action. And that is all the meaning of too less child spirit. But usually too much is always more making a problem. So I want to focus more on the too much child spirit. Usually lots of guts. Like they can do whatever they want. It's not negative meaning. Yeah. Okay. It has been already 2 hours. So I might have to see you guys next time. Oh, Christian, hello. Perhaps I missed something, but I don't understand the difference between too less or too much and hurting official eating God. For what I understand until now, they are not the same, are they? Yeah, I'll describe that. Actually, it is not very important to my lineage. Hurting official or eating God, those are not very important. Going to sleep now. Bye-bye. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's too late there. I already covered all material I prepared. So usually like this, the yang to yang or yin to yin is called as an eating God. If yin yang is different, yin to yang or yang to yin, that is called as hurting official. But I do not really care. I do not really care about that. This is too large. I really do not care about that. Many people might disagree, but the important thing is anyway, child spirit is controlling the official spirit. Child spirit controls the official spirit. So either it is eating God or hurting official, anyway, it hurts the official spirit. So that's the character of the child spirit. So usually I think I more consider too much child spirit. It has some kind of hurting official character, and balanced child spirit comes out like an eating God in a smooth and balanced way. So you do not need to really seriously differentiate those two as yin and yang aspect. I more care about too much or balance. Okay? Night is still young. Okay. Christian, I decide to do 1 week for 8 or 9 p.m. at night. Maybe 8 p.m. might be better. 8 p.m. at night, and 1 week at 3 to 4 p.m. So the European people can join once every 2 weeks. So 1 week, 8 p.m., 1 week, 3 p.m., like that. Today was the trial to really start in the afternoon. We might have to wrap up here today. Thank you, everyone. I will see you guys next week. All right? Yeah, then, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Oh, Ilona, you're here. Thank you so much.